You know how when you're searching online and you find all these ready-to-build homes or new construction homes that don't even exist yet? Well, this video is all about new construction communities and developments and new construction on your own property. Stay tuned for the details. What's up everybody, it's Cassandra Lopez with the Living in Bremerton channel. If you're new to the channel, you're going to want to go ahead and subscribe. This channel is all about living in Bremerton. So whether you're relocating here for the first time or you've been here before and you're moving back, hit subscribe, tap that little bell so you're notified every time I upload a new video. And you can reach out to me directly if you have specific questions. Here's my phone number and my email. I get calls all the time from people relocating here and I absolutely love it. So go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell so you're notified, and give me a shout if there's anything I can do to support you. All right, new construction homes or the ready to build homes, what is going on with that? So these are all the details. First, we're going to start with the neighborhoods. So I'm sure you've seen driving around these new construction neighborhoods and communities called tract homes. I've heard them called cookie cutter homes. The reason for that is because there's 3 or 4 home floor plans that just kind of, alternate around the neighborhood. And so you have your choice of 3 to 4 different styles. The developer who is building these neighborhoods, they have special permission from the county. It's called a variance to reduce the lot sizes and almost eliminate the setbacks. So the setbacks are really close to the boundary lines, like 5 feet or less, which makes the neighborhoods very high density and it makes the lots super duper small. I call them postage stamp lots. So if you are not concerned about lot size and you're okay with a teeny tiny yard, which I'm kind of okay with a teeny tiny yard because it's less yard maintenance to take care of, this might be a great opportunity for you. The builder has the entire plat, it's called a planned unit development, and he has the entire plat mapped out and designed and approved by the county. He has all the floor plans approved by the county and the locations on the lot where the homes are going to go, and everything is going to look very uniform. All the homes are going to be identically spaced back from the front of the property. They're going to be right next to each other. The builder has also applied for all the permits for each individual lot and the home that's going to go on there. So all of this really intense legwork is already done for you. The land is already prepped, all the utilities are brought in, all the sidewalks are poured, all the homes are placed and designed already for you. And oftentimes these homes will go on the market as soon as the permits are approved to build. So they're sold what's called pre-sale. Pre-sale means that you're buying a house that doesn't exist yet. Likely the foundation hasn't even been poured. So you're buying a lot of dirt. It's going to have a house on it one day, but not today. One of the benefits of purchasing a home pre-sale is that you lock it in today's market value. And when it's done 6 to 10 months down the road, it will have appreciated 10, 15% maybe, but you still get to lock in the original price of the pre-sale price. So once you close on your home, you already have, 10 to 15% in equity, depending on your area and your current market appreciation rate. Purchasing a home pre-sale like that also means that you get to select the colors and the finishes and any upgrades that are going to go into your new home. So that's kind of cool. You get to meet with a design center. You can choose your countertops, you can choose your cabinets, you can choose your carpet and flooring colors, you can choose the paint. Of course, the builder is going to have a limited selection, so he's going to have 3 or 4 color palettes for you to choose from, but still you get to choose from that and make it your own. Some things to consider if you are thinking of purchasing in a planned unit development or a new construction neighborhood, they're all the same thing, just different ways to say the same thing, is that oftentimes these neighborhoods have a homeowners association and there are going to be assessed dues either monthly or quarterly or yearly. And all those dues will go towards to maintain common areas, like if there's a little neighborhood park built in or sidewalks, street lamps, that kind of stuff. So if your neighborhood has that sort of thing, that is where the dues will go. Now, keep in mind that every neighborhood is different and every builder is different. So all the homeowners associations rules and regulations will be different. So be sure to take a close look at those to make sure that they jive with your lifestyle. Another thing to consider when purchasing in a planned unit development or new construction neighborhood is that oftentimes the builder will require to use the builder's preferred lender. Now I know what you're thinking, isn't it discrimination or against the law for anybody else to decide what lender I use for my home loan? Well, yes, but the caveat is that the seller, and this is for any home, not just new construction homes, but the seller of any home can decline an offer based on their opinion of the buyer's lender's ability to perform. So if the builder doesn't feel like your lender can perform on the loan, then they're not going to accept your offer. So they've circumvented that whole problem by just requiring buyers to use their lender. Be like, if you want to buy one of my new construction pre-sales, you're going to use my lender. And that's the end of the story. Other times they don't require you to use the builder's preferred lender, but if you do use the builder's preferred lender, you get like lender credits or buyer credits or something like that, or maybe an appliance package. They throw some bonuses in there if you do use their preferred lender when it's not required. So there's lots of benefits of buying in a planned unit development. Some things that may not be considered a benefit that you would want to take into consideration. A couple of things we already talked about. Homeowners Association, not everybody's a fan of those. The builder requiring to use their lender. That might be a sticking point, although once it's closed and you can refinance it to whomever you want. Also, you're gonna have to wait. So if you buy a home pre-sale, you're gonna wait 6 to 10 months depending on contractor availability, depending on materials availability, depending on permit status and where they are in that timeline. So a lot of factors go into that process. So if you have the luxury of time and you can wait for that, that's perfect. But if you don't and you need to get into a home right away that's already move-in ready, then this may not be a good option for you. At the end of the day, there's a buyer for every home, and you just have to drive through the neighborhood to see if this would be a good fit for you, because when you're buying a home, you're also buying the neighborhood, no matter where you're buying. So always make sure you drive through and drive by the homes that you're considering to make sure that it feels good and you like the neighborhood and it feels like it's gonna be a good fit. So now let's talk about building a home on your own land. So this can be done in a few ways. One way is to buy the land outright. So say you have cash and you can buy a piece of land, a piece of vacant land for cash. There are lenders who will loan on vacant land. They do require a significant down payment, somewhere in the range of 25 to 30%, and their interest rates are several points higher than the norm. So those are two things you'd want to take into consideration. When you do buy a piece of land and then you decide to build on it, you would be able to refinance that land loan into a construction loan to kind of compile the whole thing. So construction loans can also be used to buy the whole thing all at once. So land, the home, and the improvements, which we'll talk about in just a minute. You can do a conventional construction loan, and if you are a veteran or active duty service member, you also have the option to do a VA construction loan, and those work for stick-built and manufactured homes. So I mentioned improvements earlier. What are improvements when it comes to developing vacant land? So the improvements are going to be the utilities, so the power, the water, the sewer or the septic system, any cable or fiber optic you want to run in, any natural gas you want to run in, propane if you want to put a propane tank on the property. Those sorts of things are considered improvements, and they also go into the site prep. So a septic system, if you're not familiar and you've grown up in a very urban area where you have sewer, septic is for properties where city or county sewer is not available to serve that property. So it's an on-site sewage system that we won't talk about very much, but basically suffice it to say, there's lots of different design plans, and the design plan is going to depend on the type of property, the location, the size, the quality of the soil, if it's waterfront, if you need a water well versus city or public water. All of those things factor into what kind of design you have, and the least expensive one is easily into the 5-figure price range. Building on your own property means that you get to actually choose who your builder is. In our area, we have several local builders who have a plethora of floor plans and designs to meet every expectation and need for your home and your family. So you get to actually have a very solid hand in building it from the ground up. The builder will take care of the permits for you, so they apply for the permits for you, and they will sub out all their contractors. So anybody needed for plumbing, electrician, siding, framing, roofing, foundation, they'll sub out all those guys for you. When you see advertisements online, if you're searching in one of the larger home search engine sites, and you see these ready-to-build homes, and you see these floor plans and these amazing homes, and they're listed for like $250,000, and you're thinking to yourself, no way, I can get that house for $250,000. That house, or that price rather, is the base price for the base model of that floor plan without any upgrades, with just the standard features, right? That cost is not inclusive of your property, and it's not inclusive of the improvements. So a lot of times improvements can be highly expensive depending on your lot, your project, what you need for your home and all that stuff. Sometimes the home turns out to be the least expensive part of the package. But altogether, if you factor in the cost of the land, the cost of the improvements, and the cost of the home and project, you're right about market value, sometimes a little over market value for that same home if it were already built. One thing to keep in mind is that for a construction loan to build these projects, they filter out the money in draws. And so as the builder or the contractors need the funds, they take a draw on the loan. And then once the project is completed and you get your final occupancy and you can move in, you refinance into a regular loan, whether conventional or VA, just a standard residential loan, get out of that construction loan. While there are a lot of benefits to building on your own land, like you get to choose the location and the lot size and where you're going to put your house, well, the builder helps you with that because every lot has a building envelope, and that's determined by the grade of the property, if it's waterfront, where you're going to put your septic, all that stuff. So your building envelope can be large or small depending on the property, but you really have a hand in choosing all of this stuff. So that's really, really cool. You can choose to keep the lumber, like if you have to fell trees, you can keep the lumber to mill into floorboards or siding. I have clients who have cleared their own property and then used the wood they cleared to build their house. So that's always fun, kind of keep it in the family, right? If it's marketable timber, you may have the option to sell the timber to a commercial logging company for a fee. So they would pay you for your marketable timber essentially. And they would come out and do a timber cruise on your property to let you know what is marketable and give you a quote for what it's worth. There are some things to consider that may be considered a downside when building on your own property. So the quote that the builder is going to give you up front for the home and for the improvements is going to change. It will 100% change, and it will 100% go up. And I say that because the length of time it takes for the permitting and the materials and everything that kind of comes in and goes down the timeline, the entire time the cost of materials is going up because the cost of materials never goes down, right? So the wood that you're using to build your home, or the concrete you're using to pour your driveway, or the roofing materials, or the Italian granite that you want to put in your kitchen, all of the cost of that is going to go up. So at the end of the day, my clients have experienced when they have built their own homes is that the project always goes over time and it always goes over budget. So those are two things you're going to want to be open-minded about and highly consider before you start building on your own property. As always, if you need a referral to a lender who can lend on vacant land, or a lender who can do conventional or VA construction loans, or a lender for a planned unit development project to get that ball rolling, reach out to me and I'd be happy to refer you to some contacts who have done a good job for my clients in the past. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, tap that little bell so you're notified every time I upload a weekly video. Call me, text me, email me, or you can even Zoom me. My calendar link is in the description, and I look forward to hearing from you. Bye for now.